7-person team, and I'm here proudly today with the builder from our second episode, Poisonblade,
Hey,
our builder from our very first amazing episode, Bold,
Hello.
and the builder of next week's episode, the Basic Builder.
Hello.
Just a quick reminder, everyone, if you like what you're seeing, you like the project, the idea behind the project, the story behind the project, please be sure to subscribe to the Builder of the Week and all of our builders on our team. The Builder of the Week will be the one to put forward the episode on their YouTube channel, but I encourage you to smash that like button for all of our builders, subscribe to all of them, follow all of them on Twitter. And without further ado, I'll pass it over to Bold first, actually. Bold, what was your reaction to the reaction of people that reached out to you after watching our first episode of Terra Nova?
I loved it. It was such a warm reception, and everyone was super positive, and we got tons of views and likes and tweets, and I doubled my subscribers, which was pretty great. I'm like a real YouTuber now. So yeah, it was just overwhelmingly positive. Everyone was so nice. And
yeah, that's amazing. And again, appreciate all of you for continuing to love the project. The feedback has been wonderful. As Bolt said, the feedback so far has been absolutely outstanding, and we hope that continues. And we hope that you love what we here at the Terra Nova Mars project put forward. So I'm going to pass it over to Poisonblade next. Poisonblade, tell us what we're looking at here.
building a rocket, which I cut away a lot of it because a lot of it was, you saw it for quite some time, just trying to get the angle of a piece right, and then that took like an hour to get right, so I just cut it out because it was annoying.
So this second episode is titled Touchdown. Can you sort of just elaborate on not only your inspiration as far as the build that you constructed for us this week, but also in terms of where the story has progressed from finding the red planet through the amazing terraforming that Bold did to now with this amazing ship that we're looking at?
Well, inspiration-wise, Pinterest. Like, I wanted to have something that's slightly futuristic, but not completely out there, that it's like 500 years in the future, but it's like maybe 50 years. And story-wise, that changed so many times. Because I had to look up how many people are usually on like one mission. And then I found that's like, I think like 5 to 25 people, so I just made it like, oh, there's 10 people on this mission, so I need to build living facilities or life support facilities for 10 people and not more, because I tried to build a lot more. But then I remembered, oh, Basic has it next week, and I don't think the entire team will appreciate it if an entire city just pops up in 1 week. Because we were getting there.
Right, and valid point. Basic. So unlike Bold and myself that have only seen a couple teasers of this build, you've gotten the complete map as far as what Poisonblade's complete build looks like. How do you feel about being the builder to go after him?
It's nerve-wracking. He's a great builder, but I'm up for the challenge, and it's just a lot of fun. And the way I look at it is, if I see something that he's done and I'm like, how the heck did he do that? I'm like, I'm just gonna take it and kind of break it down basically, and then rebuild it in my way if I have time, obviously. But no, it challenges me, and I think it's good.
Amazing. And so Poisonblade. So we're here looking at your ship now. We've seen a couple teasers. So beside from this amazing and gigantic, painful ship as far as the building process, which you let us know last week, what else as far as this episode are you building for us?
I'm going to be building the central hub building, which is basically where all the communications and where everybody gets together, that kind of stuff. So the largest building I'm going to show you, and then, well, right now the ship. Everything else had to be kind of cut out because, again, I built way too much.
Hey, I'm not complaining. It all looks honestly just fantastic. Um, Bold, you actually, you and myself and Basic as well. We got to see a teaser in terms of a few cute little buddies that Poisonblade decided to include for
Fred.
this week's project. What did you think of the cute little robots?
I love them. I would die for Fred. I'm so excited for everyone to see them. They're probably my favorite part of this whole project.
So for those of you that don't know, and we'll see when we go through the live portion tour of this week's build, Fred stands for Friendly Roaming Exploration Device. But I really just wanted to name it Fred because Poison Blade's like, think of a cute name, and I'm like, okay, what's cuter than Fred? And you'll see this robot. It's super cute. It has a great personality. Poison Blade, let me ask you. You were very adamant when we were sort of brainstorming about this project that you really wanted in your second week here to build some sort of robotic assistant or some robotic assistive devices for the humans with this colony. What was your thinking behind that as far as sort of touching down on Mars and getting life support structures up and running as quickly as possible?
There's only 10 people that's like going to be here, so a lot of construction. Well, also those 10 people usually are like, well, astronauts. They're not builders or people who have been in construction, so they probably have no idea how to build things unless it's like prefabricated and they bring it along, or at least that's the assumption that I went on. So I just thought, all right, what's something that they can bring along that doesn't require like a lot of like food or anything to keep up, but can still be like programmed or have the knowledge to build stuff. And then it was just cute robots.
Of course. And you'll see a little bit in the teasers after the end credits in terms of who these astronauts and people are that Poison Blade's referring to, because Basic's handling next week's episode, and he's built some quarters for them as far as what their work is and what they're going to be doing here on Mars, at least to start this colony. Basic, let me ask you, how did you decide to expand on Poison Blade's design for your next week in terms of where he decided to plant this hub, this ship, and the life support system?
Well, obviously, with them landing where Poison has placed them, I believe the work area should be relatively close by. And so when I got the file, I kind of just examined and I was like, okay, let's basically place it down right here. So it's relatively close to where Poison is building right now. And so that way they're not exposed to the elements of Mars and all that as much as, putting them halfway across the map. That would make no sense. So.
For sure. For sure.
Can I quickly interject?
Of course. Yeah.
Quickly to say it. I'm not building right now in the Mars map because I just now have like an entire map set aside to build all the stuff. So for people watching who are thinking like, where the hell are we? I just have an entire save file just to build stuff, and then I later plop it into Mars.
Amazing.
I think we're now starting with the hub building thing.
Amazing. So can you perhaps just take people through in terms of some of the Planet Zoo pieces and choices you made as far as getting that ship just the way you wanted it, and now getting this this communications hub just the way that you wanted it?
Well, when it comes to pieces, it was mostly just looking like for metal, plastic, or glass, like nothing wood or organic looking, because I mean, it's Mars. I think anything that's organic is probably going to very quickly deteriorate. And then also, well, ship is just, I took a picture from Pinterest, tried building that one, and it somewhat worked. And when it came to all the buildings on Mars, the one thing that I thought of constantly was like, oh, there's going to be a lot of dust storms, so there needs to be a way to like handle that. Not have it that like in a week or so the entire colony is just covered in dust. So every roof had to be slanted and such, and then it's still like all the pieces need to be like iron, glass or something, durable pieces or durable materials. So that's basically the entire thought process behind all of the building.
And for all of you out there, Poisonblade is not, in fact, a scientist. He's just done some great research.
Well, great research. It's like the second page of a Google search.
There you go. There you go. That's the mastermind behind Poisonblade and his design for the week. I want to ask all of you, because we just had a wonderful Planet Zoo update and a great DLC animal pack that came out that I know people are very excited about. I'm going to ask for answers from all of you. Let's start with Bold, then we'll get Poisonblade's response. And I know Basic was super eager about one of the updates specifically. Bold, how do you think the update and the animal pack adds to our Terra Nova project?
With the update, we got the billboards, which really helps. And the small anchor pieces for the billboards are great little metal pieces that I'm sure will come in handy for us. So that was great. And then the colored water and stuff like that is obviously pretty awesome for us.
Yeah, I agree. I know that that water on Mars is a very I'm not going to say touchy. It's a very controversial debate as to whether there is water on Mars, and I know Basic and I were just discussing that last night because we had some thoughts as to whether we'd include water right away, or how they would get water, or how water will eventually find its way to Mars, just because humans need water to live. Poisonblade, let me get your answer. What do you think of the updates as far, and the DLC as far as elevating Terra Nova to the next level?
I mean, animal-wise, we won't see many animals, I think, in Terra Nova for some time. But when it comes to like the updates, I mean, having this, what was it? The screens.
The custom billboards, yeah.
Yeah, those would be great for like computer screens and such.
Very true. And Basic, I wanted to get your response, because I know that you've teased a little bit as to your build with all of us, and the way that you've utilized custom billboards is quite amazing. How has custom billboards elevated your design and thought process for your next week's build?
Well, I mean, basically, with next week's build, it's essential to have them. It's really kind of the lifeline of the next point, or I guess place. I guess we're going. I don't really know. Basically, where we're going next in Terra Nova. So having the billboards as computer screens, or just general information, you can utilize them just in every kind of way possible. I'm using them quite a bit.
Yeah, we saw that from what you've teased for us. Your utilization of the new custom billboards is quite amazing, and like the timing couldn't have been more perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And so when the billboards were announced, I was like, well, this is a no-brainer. This is perfect for this project. So it came at a really good time.
Yeah. Okay. So Poisonblade. So we're looking at your speed build here, and you're trying to get the circular communications pod just right. How much pain? Because I know you like that word. How much pain were you in when you were trying to get this just right?
Not that much, actually, because it's like, well, if you get the angle right, then it's right. And unlike with the spaceship, where sometimes the angle is like the smallest of millimeters off, when it came to the pods or the hub, it was fairly easy. I just had to make separate versions for like a door and window and no window, and then mix those all together into a building.
Amazing. And now you're going to be showing off to the entire world sort of what Bold's beautiful terraform map has become, as far as humans touching down on it. So let's go there.
So now you guys are seeing what has basically been my pain and agony for 2 weeks and slightly more, especially this guy. So, well, right now we just have the hub in front of us with all the life support facilities, weird looking spider thing that's going to get changed, and, well, What do you guys think?
Honestly, man, wow, that spaceship alone is freaking gigantic. And like I wouldn't expect anything less from you as far as like what I know of you as a builder and content creator for Planet Zoo. But just as far as like the shapes, the dimensions, the elegance, sort of the nice lines to it, like you did a fantastic job, like just with the spaceship. And I can see the elevator behind it where the astronauts sort of leave the spacecraft to the actual surface of Mars. That's amazing. Bold, what are you thinking of this, seeing this for the first time?
I was blown away coming in here. I mean, I'd seen some teasers on our group chat, but to actually see it in the map, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, I didn't think we were going to get anything but and the robots are everything. I love them. I would die for them. They're so cute.
We'll see the robots in just a moment here as Poisonblade showing us off all of his amazing designs. Basic, you've seen this now at least briefly as you had to set up your week 3 build. What did you think of the map when you opened it? Were you like panty drop?
Yes, absolutely. You can basically put it that way. Absolutely. The scale and just the size and location of where the hub is perfect. I mean, we all know spaceships are huge, but it's actually a really good scale compared to everything else that's being built. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it looks like the scaling is something Poisonblade that you really considered, as well as a story. So just take us through here. So the astronauts arrive by spaceship and they go down that awesome elevator that you built just in front of the spaceship or behind it. What are they first coming across as they sort of enter the initial life support buildings that I guess the astronauts would first meet when they land successfully on Mars?
I mean, the first thing that they would see is basically the fuel tankers. And well, then they find these little guys first.
So can you introduce us to these adorable helper robots?
Well, these ones with the claws that might look like they want to probe you, which are basically the builder robots, don't have a name yet. So if anyone who's watching right now has a fun name for them, you can go wild with those. And here we have the first of the threats, which weirdly was inspired half by just a cute robot, and then I just went bunny because he actually does have a tail.
Oh my!
I
So
love
Fred
him.
is amazing. I love him as well. Poisonblade showed me this image before we got into this map with him, and he's like, can this be the mascot of the project? And I'm like, absolutely. Like, not only did he put some amazing work into it, but the guy or whoever this robot is, it probably doesn't have a gender, looks absolutely adorable, as Bolt has said. So this is Fred, everyone, and it stands for friendly roving
Exploration device.
Exploration device. Damn it! I thought of this initially, and I can't even remember it.
What was it? Friendly roaming exploration device.
Yeah, there you go. And that's how we got to Fred.
you'll need to write that down.
Yes.
I will definitely need to write that down. Was not included in my notes for the week just because I had so many other notes to go on. But yes, very, very correct and great on you, Poisonblade. So anyone watching, if you guys have some great names, especially we love some good acronyms for those two builder bots that you see to the right and left of Fred, like please let us know some suggestions for names. We'd love to hear them.
There he is.
Oh, and there's a third one right there. But I love Poisonblade's suggestion that if any of you have some great names, especially like acronym names, we'd love to hear them. So Poisonblade, take us through what we're seeing here, because this is the first time really that life support, as far as our story, is being implemented on Mars, as far as this scale on this mission. What are we looking at?
Well, we have like a water tower in the back because for now, at least, all the water is like frozen, so it needs to get drilled up and then heated up to actually have water instead of ice. I mean, then we just have a friendly interaction between a Mars rover and another threat. Because, of course, I mean, that camera on the rover was just perfectly aligned with like the height of Fred, so I had to put it there.
Amazing. Fred is the guy reporting back to NASA.
Yes. It's just like bleep, bleep, bleep. Mission successful, bleep. I think Fred just
And-
makes a lot of bleep or boop noises.
Right, but someone can interpret that, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, a NASA Poisonblade can interpret all those bleeping and bloopings,
Yep. And then,
which is really just Fred swearing in his own language.
but he swears with a smile and cute
does.
ears. And don't talk about his one floppy ear. He's very sensitive about that.
Okay, and what are we looking here with these very futuristic, modern, yet to me very realistic style like housing pods?
Well, here was just the idea of like, alright, there's 10 people, maybe 15 at most. They're probably not going to live in the spaceship because they probably don't want that. So I needed to find basically just quick living areas where there's like bunk beds and just a place to sleep while they work in like the main hub. So I needed to keep it small but also realistic. So here the dust storms come in again by making it slanted so that any dust that accumulates just falls off. And then this is also a thing with every building so far that you can go inside. There's no interior yet. I have to give the build over to Beezy for that because I didn't have time to build interiors, but I made sure that there's like an outside door and an inside door for like decompression, I think, like going from the atmosphere of Mars to like a more livable atmosphere in the actual buildings. And this is Silver's doing.
Oh no, Fred!
Silver
What the hell
true
happened to
Fred.
Fred?
Silver true Fred outside of the hub. And now he's just happily waiting here for Silver to pick him back up. Silver, what did you do to him?
What did I do? Oh my goodness.
You're a monster.
He's being
Not the
held
gun
up
grab
by
button.
his floppy ear.
Wow. Okay, so aside from Fred getting knocked over by someone, not me. I'm not on Mars. I'm just mission control. What's this cool futuristic building with the satellite dishes? What are we looking at here?
Well, this is the hub building. This is basically where they all work, like communications to any incoming spaceships or outgoing, and basically where they all gather and all work, because they sleep and maybe eat in the small buildings, hub or pod things, but they have to like work in a central area.
And so a Poisonblade. So with our story, do you imagine that all of these sort of pod-like structures arrived here however many months or days before the astronauts arrived and sort of set themselves up with the help of your adorable and very functional robotic assisted devices?
I mean, Fred is not very assistant. I mean, he doesn't have arms.
So what exactly in your mind does Fred do?
He's just friendly companion. It's just, I mean, one of the things that I actually found out was like, oh, the astronauts are, for the most part, like it's a small group, and there's of course mental wellness that needs to be taken into account. So like that's Fred. Fred is just there, bleeping and booping around, trying to keep morale high by bleeping and booping.
Very, very smart idea. I love it. And so, sorry. So you had mentioned to us when we initially dropped in for this live tour that the Spider solar panel device behind us is going to get changed. So it looks amazing. What were you thinking with this design here, as far as that crazy futuristic design?
Well, first I wanted something that was like, well, pre-made, of course, because everything right now, like, they're slowly building things here on Mars, but the first things, of course, had to be built on Earth and then dropped here. But that was literally the initial thought process, was just like, this is a rocket that they just, you know, it came apart and had all these solar panels, but right now it's just, it doesn't look correct, let's just say. It looks like it's going to come alive and be like the monster in a horror movie. So that's going to be changed, but right now we have a rocket that looks like a spider. That's, yeah.
That's really amazing. So this has been honestly fantastic. Poisonblade, you did some outstanding work here. Bold, what do you think of the idea of NASA calling you up and be like, we have this spaceship we're looking at right now. Poisonblade designed it for us. We're going to send you up to Mars to live in one of these pods that we're looking at. Would you go?
If Fred's there, I'm going. I'm there. I assume his tail wags in my mind, so that's canon now. His tail wags.
And Basic, if NASA calls you up, are you going as well?
Oh, absolutely. As long as the spider, whatever, the solar panel thing behind us is not going to eat us, yes, I will be there.
Amazing. Anyways, Poisonblade, this has honestly been amazing. This live sort of walkthrough has been truly fantastic, and I'm so glad you had a story in mind, as well as the great inspiration that you had for building that the way that you did, and for sort of laying out the initial colonies pods in the manner that you did. I want to thank Poisonblade for doing an amazing job, and for Bold and Basic for coming on as well. Bold, of course, did a fantastic job in episode 1, and I would encourage everyone to go check it out if you haven't already. I personally have probably viewed our first episode of Terra Nova like at least 15 times. So I would encourage everyone to smash that like button again for our video this week on Poisonblade's channel, and for our first episode, if you have not seen it, on Bold's channel. Again, if you haven't subscribed to either Poisonblade or Bold, please do so, as well as for all of our other team members. Again, the Basic Builder, who's on with us, he's going to be building for us next week, and the week 3 episode will be on his channel. So again, I encourage you to subscribe to all of their channels, to follow all of them on Twitter, to get the latest updates as to when Terra Nova comes out next. We are bringing you episodes every Saturday for the foreseeable future, and continuing our story. I just want to run through the team super quickly, because I'm proud of everyone before we start running the outro credits. So we have myself, I'm TheSilverFox. We have Bold, Poisonblade, the Basic Builder. We have Zekin. We have Leaf Productions. We have Niccolas LionRider. He's referred to I Am LionRider on YouTube. WyattAndrewsWorkshop. ZooF, formerly ZooFlincer, Syrrael, and Beezy. And again, we are an 11-person all-star collaboration team doing this very cool Mars-inspired project, and we hope that you all like it. Everyone, thank you so much for being here today and sharing in this awesome speed build and live walkthrough of our Mars colony. Just a quickly reminder that after the end credits roll, just listing out all of our amazing team members, we will be showing off a teaser or 2 from the week 3 episode from the Basic Builder. So stick around to the end of the end credits to get a look at next week's episode.